Hey friends, in this video I'm going to show you how to quickly get started with this CMS based horizontal scroll clonable, and in the second part I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into how it's built exactly and how it works. The initial idea was based on the Webflow University tutorial about the horizontal scroll animation, except I had to adapt it a little bit to work properly with CMS collections, and I wanted to make it work without any line of custom code, so everything works natively. So the idea is that we still have a sticky frame with a horizontal strip, which is based on a collection list here, except instead of using the parent as a trigger for the scroll track with a fixed height, I did not put a fixed height on the parent, and instead I'm using a second element, which is another collection list attached to the same collection that will serve as my vertical scroll spacer. So here we have the second collection list, and you can see that each individual item has a height of 100 VH, whereas each individual item in my horizontal strip has a width of 100 VW. That way, no matter how many items in my collection, the horizontal strip and the vertical scroll will always keep proportional length, meaning that my animation will always look good, which is what we want. So for the sake of this demo, I just added a little text filler here to show you how it works underneath. Oh, quickly, if you don't care about understanding how it works and you just want to get started, what you would do, so this wouldn't be in the clonable, what you need to do is just find this delete me div, delete it, then you can find the horizontal strip. The gradient in the background is coming from this combo class, so if you just remove it, it will be gone, and then that's not what I wanted to do. It will be gone, and I'm just gonna bring it back. And then inside the horizontal item, you can just remove this inner card, customize the CMS, add the elements that you want in the CMS, and just bring them into the horizontal item. This is the only thing you need to style, and then the sections before and after, you can remove them or fill them out as you wish. But that's all you need to know if you want to get started quickly. If you care a little bit more about the details and understanding how it works, stay tuned. So this is why I added this helper. So we're going to make it visible now. Flex, and as you can see, it's just telling me which item is in the background on the vertical scroll, so we can understand better the timing, because there are a few quirks with the timing of such an animation. So the first thing is that since my horizontal strip is in a sticky frame and not a fixed frame, the sticky frame is still in the document flow, and it pushes my scroll trigger outside of the frame, which is not something desirable. This is why we have that negative 100 VH padding. If I remove it, when the sticky frames arrive, the first item is underneath. So there will be like a full 100 VH worth of scroll before the animation triggers. I can show you that in a quick preview. So you see nothing's happening, and then it triggers, but it's a little bit too late. So we want the sticky frame to be like it was not in the document flow, and this is why we're adding that negative 100 VH margin, which is exactly the height. It doesn't have a set height here because it grows based on the content, but the content has a set height of 100 VH. So that will make sure that the timing of the animation at the beginning starts exactly when we want it to start. Perfect. Now there's another issue, is that since I don't have a set width, my animation here, if you check the way it's built, I'm moving the horizontal strip by 100%. But when I do that, it brings it completely outside of the screen. And I have no way to offset it. You can do math here and say, I just want 100% minus 100 VW so that just the last item stays in screen. We can't really do that. So my solution to that was to add inside the sticky frame, which is flex horizontal, we have an offset. This div is vertical and it's 0 VW width by default. And you can see here at the beginning of the animation, that horizontal offset is at 0%. But as the animation progresses till the end, we're going to make it grow to 100 VW. And that way will be exactly the offset that we need to bring back the sixth element in view. So this is why when we run the animation and we get to the end of the animation, the sixth element does not disappear. Now the animation is done. This is 99%, 100%. And you might have noticed it's weird because it should have ended based on how the animation is set up. It should end now when the last item starts exiting screen. But that would mean that the next section would come too early. And to mitigate that, the way is to add some padding to the parent at the bottom. So here we have 100 VH padding at the bottom. And if I remove it, you will see that the following section will just arrive too early. It will slide under the 6th item. You see right now that the section is already sliding underneath. It's arriving 100 VH too early. So this is why we need to add that padding in the parent here. At the bottom, we have that 100 VH padding here. That will make sure that the timing stays consistent. And so if you have it set up like this, you can see it's exactly like we want. You can add as many sections as you want before or after. You can also remove them. If I just hide them all here and I preview this again, the timing is still perfect. It stops exactly at the end, starts exactly at the beginning. All works smoothly. One last little detail. Instead of having, I'm going to bring this section back to visible, well, just default. Instead of having the layout switch back to vertical, so here if I grab the horizontal strip, instead of switching it back to vertical from a certain breakpoint, I wanted the change to happen based on whether the user has a touchscreen or not. And for one reason, if you're looking at it on a desktop, but you make your window smaller, I didn't want it to switch to just a classic vertical scroll. I still wanted to have that animation. And in reality, we only need to stack them vertically if you have a touch screen, because this is when the animation might look weird. So instead of using breakpoints, I just used a line of JavaScript that detects whether the browser has touch capability or not. If it has touch capability, there's two things that will happen. First thing, I'm just going to delete the scroll trigger. I'll remove it because we don't need it anymore. And then I'm going to grab that horizontal strip and I'm just going to switch it to vertical. And that's all I need to do to have that vertical collection list. So I'm not going to do it now, but I'll show you how the code works. If you open the custom code here, I'll just move myself. So this is the function that will run when the page loads, and it will assess whether the user has a touchscreen or not. So it will return only if there is an untouched start event or a max touch point in the navigator or MS, which is for Microsoft. But so basically it detects, is the navigator waiting potentially for touch input? If yes, it means there is a touchscreen attached. If yes, this function will return true. And then we have an if statement, which is based on the function, basically. So if the function returns, we'll get the vertical trigger and we'll remove it. And we'll get the horizontal list and we'll just switch it to flex direction column. And that way it's gonna be perfectly smooth and display vertically with no breakpoint or nothing. And I found it could be a better way in some cases. If you don't like that method, delete the custom code, do it to breakpoints. It might be better for you. I'm not sure, but yeah, so that's basically the structure of it, and how to get started quickly with that. So just remove the delete me div, the background gradient combo class, customize your CMS, and get building in Webflow. I hope that helps, and looking forward to publish more clonables and videos like this one. So if you like that, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'm open to any feedback. If you have any idea of custom animations or stuff like that that you'd like to see in the future, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll be happy to see if I can make a video about it. Have a great day and have fun building.